video will guide you through creating a workspace in Tonic Structural. As a quick recap before we start, the structural platform allows you to generate safe, secure, de-identified versions of your data. You can use this generated data for use cases such as software development and testing. So what is a structural workspace? A workspace provides a context within which to configure and run data generation. Each structural workspace includes where to find the source data to transform, where to write the transformed data, the rules for the transformation, and any actions to perform after the generation. We're going to focus on creating the workspace and setting up the source and destination connections. From the Workspaces view, to create a workspace, click Create Workspace, then select Create New Workspace. For the new workspace, you must provide a workspace name and can optionally provide a longer description and assign workspace tags. Next, you identify the source data, which is the data to transform. Note that Structural does not touch the original data. The transformed data is copied from the source data. Source data might come from a database, a SaaS application, or from text-based files on a local file system or in cloud storage, such as Amazon S3. You must connect to source data before you can configure any data generation. For new users especially, one option is to create a workspace that connects to our sample PostgreSQL dataset, which you can use to explore Structural's features. You can also create a structural workspace that connects to your own data. To use your own data, first select the data connector type. Structural natively supports several application databases, data warehouses, and Spark-based data solutions. There is also an option to transform text-based files from either your local file system or a cloud storage solution. For a database, under Source Settings, you provide the connection information for the source database. The connection details include the database server location and the authentication credentials. Use Test Source Connection to make sure that Structural can connect to the database. Next, you configure where Structural writes the transformed destination data. You must configure the destination before you run any data generation. For a database, under Destination Settings, select the Destination option. The destination database is always of the same type as the source database. For example, source PostgreSQL data always produces destination PostgreSQL data. The destination database might be an empty database on a server. Provide the connection details, then use Test Destination Connection to make sure that Structural can connect to the database. Another option is to write the data to a Tonic ephemeral snapshot. In Ephemeral, you can then use the snapshot to create any number of temporary databases. And finally, some data connectors allow you to write the data to a volume in a container repository. For source data that consists of files in a cloud storage location, you select the location to write transformed files to and provide the connection credentials. To complete the workspace creation, click Save Workspace. Structural runs an initial sensitivity scan on the new workspace to look for personally identifiable information and other types of sensitive data. It then displays the results on Privacy Hub. From there, you can review the results and start to configure the data transformation. And one more thing to be aware of. If your database server only allows connections from allow listed IP addresses, then you must add the structural IP addresses to your allow list. For the list of IP addresses to allow list, go to the frequently asked questions in the structural documentation. To recap, structural workspaces provide a context in which to configure and run data generation. For each workspace, you configure the connection to the source data, either a database or files. You also configure where Structural writes the transformed output data. And that concludes our introduction to creating a Tonic Structural workspace. To learn more, check out our other videos, our blogs, or the Structural product docs.